Hi there, it's Sandra with Brew City Thrifts. Today I am at the Waukesha Goodwill and it is a Friday after work and I am looking forward to seeing if there are some carts on their way out to start stocking shelves for the weekend. I would be loving to find some larger items. I feel like I've been listing a lot of smalls lately and maybe it's time for a big vase or something like that. So who knows? Let's hit it. I started at a different place in the store this trip. I started at the back of the store, and this is a end shelves unit, and I saw this cute country chicken cookie jar. She's wearing a bonnet and an apron. So cute. And on this shelf, I noticed this oversized pottery mug. I liked the glaze on it. It was $3.99, signed. You can see in the bottom of the middle there's a little extra swirly glaze, but it also has a moose on it, which is what I really was interested in. Next to it is this Kurt Adler Christmas ornament with a cat having found a fish and being really excited. I thought it was pretty cute, and for I think just $1.99, I put that in my cart. And right away on the lowest shelf, I saw this vintage chalkware beer sign. I think these are cool, but they honestly don't go for a lot of money unless they're an actual beer brand being advertised. So I left it on the shelf. Here I notice a cocktail mixing glass. It's got recipes for different cocktails, and I think these are kind of fun. My son has gotten into discovering cocktails and mixing up new ones, so I thought he might like this. So I did pop this in my cart for him. This is the yellow shelves. It's another set of end shelves. And as I glance through them, the first thing I notice is this Majolica pitcher with some fruit on the front and basket weave design. It's lightweight, but it does look to have age, so I'm guessing it's Japanese. And while it's pretty, I I am not moved to take it this time. Next, I noticed this amber glass, I'm going to say compote, maybe a fruit bowl, pedestal fruit bowl. It's quite heavy. It's got a rather simple design. I'm going to guess Indiana glass. As I'm getting to know glasses better, that would be my guess. But I decide to leave it behind. And then I take a look at these. These are more contemporary. This is bubble glass, art glass in a very cheery yellow. It's a pair of them, and those are really nice, but I decided to leave them as well. I'm in the area of china and dish sets, and I noticed this redware bowl, which I thought was very pretty. I love the design, the swirl on the inside, and the enameled, kind of an enameled raised design, and it had a weird string there in the bottom, which I'm not sure what that was for, and it also did have a little chip on the bottom, or sorry, on the rim. So I loved it, but I thought with that chip I was not going to take it. Then I noticed this very sweet hand painted elephant. And on the back, there is a lot of writing about how it was a gift. It was a gift on the occasion of someone having a baby. And it was hand painted with these adorable little black kittens and this elephant. Very crazed, heavily crazed. It's got a lot of age. And I just had to put it in my cart. I just thought it was so sweet, and with that little backstory of the being, part of a baby shower in the 1950s, I really wanted to take it with me. So I put it in my cart and was going to think about it for a while. Then I picked up this bowl, and oh boy, I didn't know what I had at the moment. I did see that it had the word restoration under that Goodwill tag, and it was hand painted and it was pretty, so I put it in my cart to look it up later. But I was really going for this hand painted piece. This is a souvenir piece from Spain, from the city of Sevilla, and I thought the colors were beautiful, and I did like the scene that was painted on it. It's probably a cake plate. And so I put that in my cart. Looked at this one again. I was like, restoration, that's ringing a bell, but I put it down again, and then went back for more because I saw this really pretty spoon rest. I love the painting on this. I love the colors and the design. And I couldn't tell who it was by, but I just knew that that was something that I wanted to take. Going back to the shelf, then there was this vintage leaf-shaped bowl. This is German, I believe, and it's got a transferware pattern of sort of brown and orange roses, and it was really pretty. Then there's this little car in the middle of everything. And then finally I wanted to take a look at this bowl. Not finally, because there's so much here to see. But this bowl, maybe a console bowl, had a really nice pattern on the front, but when I took a look at it a little closer, it wasn't quite as special as I had thought it was at first glance. So I left that behind. Moving to the next shelves, there's still more to see here. There is this beautiful, probably a vegetable platter. It is, I think, Hirschenruther, and it is poppies, and hand-painted poppies, which I think are beautiful. But the gilding was quite worn on that plate, so I left that behind. I went to look at this piece, and it was a little contemporary mug. And finally I saw this box, and I pulled this out, and of course says very boldly what it is. This is a Spode Christmas platter, and these are not by any means scarce or rare, but they do sell pretty well around the holidays, and a lot of people collect Spode. So I decided I would give that a chance for probably next holiday season. So that went in my cart too. Still among the dinnerware, I noticed this serving bowl. It's got some age, it's hand painted, but I couldn't read the label and I wasn't that crazy about it. Underneath it, here is a bowl that is the blue willow pattern, and I recognized the pattern and I thought I'll put that in my cart and look it up. I had picked up this bowl a little bit earlier, which is a sunflower frosted glass bowl, and I do love sunflower bowls and actually have a bit of a collection of my own for the summertime. Underneath this teapot is another little hand-painted trinket dish or plate or serving dish. It had a chip on it. And then I noticed these bowls. These have some age to them. They are called metlocks, and they have hand-painted scenes on the bottom and a basket weave along the side. And I put one in my cart to look it up. I thought about getting both, and then I changed my mind. I thought, let me just try one and look it up, and it actually ended up going back on the shelf. There's a selection of lusterware teacups and saucers here, likely Japanese, possibly mid-century or even earlier. They're very pretty. I don't pick up a lot of lusterware. It's just not my thing so much, although obviously these are just gorgeous. There's a little matching covered sugar, and this, I'm not sure what that is, another little serving container. So I took a look, and I know some collector or vintage lover is going to be very happy with those. Then I saw this pottery mug that has a really good design of a leaf on it with a branch on the handle. And I'm sorry I didn't film it very well where you could see it. But I looked at it and decided against it. Some more lusterware here. I think the teacups are a bit prettier, so I'd be more interested in those. This is an area at this Goodwill where they put a lot of the tableware, like salt and peppers, creamers, sugars, etc. So I noticed this pair of salt and pepper shakers. They have a mushroom design. They're plastic and they're definitely vintage. I might have picked them up, honestly, because I like the mushroom design, but it was faded from dishwasher use or just overuse, so I did not. And then I noticed that little hobnail white creamer. I don't pick up a lot of milk glass, so I left that again behind for someone who is an enthusiast, and took a quick look at that napkin holder. It's ceramic, kind of Majolica style, but left it behind. A lot of cool things to see here, even though I didn't pick anything up. I'm in the canister section and I noticed this milk glass canister, which I don't think I see too often. It looks like it has some age. I like the fact that it has a wire bail closure and its original rubber seal. And I just think a milk glass canister is kind of cool. So even though I just got done telling you I don't pick up milk glass a lot, I took this with me. In the tchotchke aisle, the first thing that catches my eye is this very colorful piece of art glass. It is a lighthouse. Actually, it is a candle holder, so you can see the metal part behind is for a votive or pillar candle. And I liked it. I liked the color, but not the design so much, so I put it in my cart to think about it. Returning to the shelves, the first thing I look at is this cranberry colored piece of glass that is a votive holder. And then I notice this piece of dinnerware, which is silver plated and has some age. I'm trying to figure out if I can read that label or that etching. And it says something like read. And it's got this really beautiful gold interior, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what that serving piece is. So I pop it in my cart to look it up later, even though it's not really my style. In the figurine section, I noticed these guys. These are very 1970s. These were everywhere in the 70s. I'm sure my family had a couple of them. So I don't think people pick them up too much, but I took a quick look. Right next door was this lovely lady. Oh, $25 for the Betty Boop resin piece. Now, I do think it's cool, and I do think Betty Boop is a cutie, but that is $25 for that is just a little too rich for my blood. So I move on. Cute ceramic puppy. And then I noticed this adorable bobblehead girl. Now I love that headdress. I love the colors on this piece. I think she could be a Japanese geisha girl. Maybe with that headdress she's Indonesian. I don't know, but she's adorable and I decide I have to have her, so she goes in my cart. I'm here where there's a lot of metal items and wall hangings and the like, and I noticed this contraption. I'm not sure what it is. It might be a candle holder, but I'm distracted quickly by this sign behind, which tells us what it is. It's an iron rest, and I really like the fact that it is definitely old. I think it's kind of like an homage to the old days of ironing your clothes all the time, and I think it would be a cool sign on someone's wall, so I put that in my cart. So this is my formal cart review at the end of my trip here. That bowl is lovely, this frosted glass sunflower bowl, but I decided I have a lot of them already, so I didn't need another one. Then this iron rest that I picture as a sign on someone's wall. It's got a lot of history there. I kind of like it. I decided I'm going to take it. This boxed Spode Christmas serving plate definitely is gonna come with me for next holiday season. The elephant plate, as sweet as it is, the painting really is relatively, amateur, and there's a lot of crazing. And I decide I'm going to have to leave that behind, even though I'm kind of in love with it. Also, there were some little chippies on the front. My bobblehead geisha girl, she's gonna come with me. I just think she's fun. The Sevilla tourist plate is very pretty, nicely painted, but I don't pick up a lot of souvenir things, so I'm going to leave that. The spoon, I still don't know what the brand is, but I just am in love with those colors and the design, so that's coming with me. I had picked up some bottle openers. That ornament is coming with me. The milk glass canister is coming with me for $1.99. I like the functionality of that piece. This cocktail mixing glass is with the recipes is for my son most likely, but this is the winner of the whole trip. This Boscobel restoration hand painted blue bowl. The last sold price on eBay I see is $99. Others are listed for upwards of $75, and that is the win for the day. That was fantastic, and the thing that made it so fantastic was, of course, finding that Boscobel restoration bowl. It turns out I didn't know what I had. I just had noticed the blue willow bowl next to it. That's a pattern I'm familiar with, so I picked it up, later looked it up, and those bowls go for about $99 on eBay. So that was a score. I'm so excited. The other things that I picked up that I liked that milk glass canister. I just thought it looked cool with the, it's got a bail wire lock, and those are just very functional, but I just liked it. It looked old. I liked that old iron pad. I liked that figurine. She was so cute. So I'm very happy. But I feel super lucky. Yeah, and maybe you guys can tell me about some time that you got lucky in the comments. I mean, lucky at Goodwill. That's what I meant. Anyway, like my channel, subscribe, comment, and keep it G-rated. And yeah, so we will do this again, siblings. Thrift on.